So now, why does Hashem ask us to think about the day we're going to die? He says, because if you learned an ounce of Torah in your entire life, you will realize that one day is going to come and you're going to have to pay the bill. One day you're going to come and that purpose that I told you you were supposed to fulfill, you're going to have to show your homework. You're going to have to show what you've done. And when someone thinks about that, when someone thinks about the reward and punishment that we all are required to think about, remind us ourselves and believe in every single day, as it's part of the 13 principles of faith in Judaism, for anyone who wants to consider themselves a Jew must believe and remind themselves of this every single day. It's the foundation of the Torah and foundation of Judaism. A person who does not believe in reward and punishment does not believe in the Torah. Cannot convert. They cannot even call themselves Jewish. Yes, I know there's a lot of confused people out there that don't want to believe in reward and punishment. They want to believe just in reward, like we live in a Santa Claus world. But it's not. So Hashem is telling us here, if you know that there's a reward and punishment, then obviously you know that by making a sin, one day there will be a punishment. And that should be just enough to get you to run away from the sin. When you know how much the steak costs, you're going to think twice before you order 10 of them. You may order one. It's an expensive steak. It's $50. If you like it, if you have the money and you want to enjoy, have a good time. But if you didn't know how much it costs, you say, oh, this looks so good. You see it on the other guy's plates. This looks good. Yeah, give me 30 of them. When the guy tells you, hey, listen, each one is $50, obviously, you say, oh, okay, fine. Just give me one. When we know the cost, we act more appropriately. And this is what my student said to me today. He says, it worked. I was about to sin. A very big sin. And I did those few steps, and it worked. But what's the thought? Of course it worked. But why did it work? And he gave me an idea that I always thought, but now I know. When did we learn this major idea? We learned it to one of our shulim that was very, very hard musar, very deep and to the point type of shul. No lovey-dovey stuff, as any of you that have seen my shulim know that, I say a joke once in a blue moon, and I try to be friendly, but in reality we say what the Torah says, which if anyone learns the Torah sees that more than half of it talks about reward and punishment, but it's not all lovey-dovey. It says, I remember from the shul, and then I realized, we always talk about Yirat Shamayim, fear of the Almighty. And we learn from the Torah that after Am Yisrael crossed the Sea of Reeds, Yam Suf, it says, and Am Yisrael saw the hand of God, and they feared him, and they believed in him, and in Moses his servant. Meaning that as soon as Am Yisrael saw the hand of God, destroying the Egyptians, destroying the biggest civilization in history, they immediately feared Hashem. It doesn't say they loved him, they feared him. And as soon as they feared him, they believed in him. And this is where we learn that fear of the Almighty, fear of Hashem, is the ultimate connection that is required in order for us to even think about what loving Hashem is. You cannot love Hashem before you fear him. But then there's another lesson that we learned today. If you don't fear Hashem, if there is no fear of Hashem, then you don't believe in him. You believe in something else. If we don't fear the Almighty, that means we don't know who the Almighty is. If we don't know who the Almighty is, we have to find out. Because the God of Am Yisrael, he's not our friend. He's not our buddy. He's not one of the guys from the schoolyard. He's not one of the guys that we see at work. He's not any of these magical genie type of ideas that people have. He's Hashem Yitbarach. He's God. And the God that I believe in, the God of Israel, He's capable of everything. He created the heaven and the earth. He created the Torah. He created Am Yisrael. He created everything and anything and everything in between that we know or don't know of. Nothing is beyond Him. Nothing. He was before time. He was after time. He's not subject to time. He's not subject to nature. He is nature. When we get a small understanding of what that means, then we can start realizing what Moshe Rabbeinu truly said here in Parashat Shmini. He said that we're doing the mitzvot in order to glorify Hashem's name. That's the purpose. That's it. Yes, there are benefits to doing mitzvot. There's a reward at some point. There is a benefit in this world as well. You'll be healthier, you'll be happier, and so on. But the real reason of why we do all of it is to glorify Hashem's name. Why? Because He's the King of Kings, the Creator of all creation, Hashem Yitbarach. And without fear of the Almighty, then the God that we believe in is not the same God that's in the Torah. Because the God of the Torah, He's everything. And when you have everything, when you have this fear, as scary as it sounds, or perhaps as unwelcoming as it sounds, the reality of it is that when you have Yirat Shamayim, when you have this fear of the Almighty, you have everything. And this is why days like today, I realize Hashem put me in a place of exactly where He wanted me to be. Okay, I wasn't able to publicize Torah as much as we try every day. We did a little bit. Okay, maybe I wasn't able to learn as much as we usually do. We did only a little bit. But Hashem put me in a place that I needed to be in. Just like He put you in different places that you needed to be in. Why? I'll find out one day. But one reason I know is to arrive at this conclusion that it's just because there's Hashem. And He has a purpose for every single move that He makes. Whether we understand it or not is irrelevant. What we need to understand is that He is Hashem. And Be'ezrat Hashem, we all get closer to Him in the right direction, the right path, the real path, the only path. Chazakim u'buchim, Be'ezrat Hashem, we'll learn tomorrow.